Hi, this is Sara Levin, the Artful Inker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm here with my beautiful Friendship Ornate Thanks card. Let me set this aside and we'll begin the creating. For my beautiful Friendship Ornate Thanks card, we'll be using the Beautiful Friendship and Ornate Thanks stamp sets from Stampin' Up! You can find a link in the description below the video for all current Stampin' Up! Products. And when we start here, I'm going to show you how to make this little viney leaf. I have my 2 leaf stamps from Beautiful Friendship double mounted on this small block. And I'm going to set this in the ink and stamp off. My ink pad is very juicy in the old olive. And then I'm going to go over to the other side that has just a double leaf and stamp off and then fit that right up in here. And let's do one more. I want these, I'm going to fussy cut these and they'll be great layering elements for this card. Okay, and then let's grab the Seaside spray, and I'm going to stamp another one of the hydrangeas. And then let me just look at this a moment. It's got a very pointed petal here, and I just want to face it down in the corner. And that's going to help me to line it up. So I'm just going to roll around the edges to add a little more ink. And then I'm going to look for the pointed petal here. Let me scoot this in so that you can see. Oops. There we go. So we've got the pointed petal here and that same pointed petal here. And let me try not to get my head in the camera as we line this up. And I'm just going to push around the edge, and that'll give us a little more oomph to those outside petals. Let's pop this over to the side. Now here's the layer for the card that we're going to work with, and I've got my layering ovals. And before we start stamping on this piece, we're going to use this layering oval and cut this piece out. And you're going to have this so that the blade is just off the edge. I'm back with the focal layer here and the oval cutout. And we're going to start with these flowers. I'm going to call them roses from Beautiful Friendship and set them in my Daffodil Delight ink. And we're just going to stamp them right here and begin to build our flowers. Let me put that out of the way. And now I want to add a hydrangea, which is right here, and we're going to do that in the Seaside spray. A little bit off the edge, and come down here a little bit. And up here just a little bit. And let's move that out of the way and come in with some Highland Heather. And I've got these little spiky pieces, and in Highland Heather they remind me of wisteria. And then let's take a little bit of the old olive and find my leaves again. And I'm going to use this triple leaf. No, don't like that. Okay. So let's move this aside. And I have a basic black oval that I've already die cut. It is one layering oval larger than the hole we cut in this piece. I'm going to brush it with my embossing buddy, and I've got some white Stampin' Emboss powder. Okay, I've got the You're Amazing stamp from Ornate Thanks, and we'll give it a little Versamark. And make sure that I've got the words heading the right direction. And I want to go to the left all the way. This won't be centered on here left to right. Okay, and then let's sprinkle with the white embossing powder. Okay. I'm going to take this, I'm going to sprinkle this one more time over on that end, and then I'm going to go use my heat tool, and I'll be right back. Okay, now that we have our embossed sentiment and this piece, it's time to start assembling the card. I have cut out two of the hydrangea pieces that were stamped on a separate sheet of paper, and those were cut with my paper snips, and I'm just adding some dimensionals. And I want to make sure that I'm not overlapping this area. I don't want to cover up my sentiment in the end. And then I'm going to add this along here and go ahead and put the dimensionals down before attaching this piece. Now let's turn this over and use the paper snips just to come straight down the edge here. And then I have this piece here. And add a couple of dimensionals in here. And I think I need one closer to this edge so that that's not too much weight on that open piece right there. And again, we're just going to turn it over and use the straight edges to cut. Okay. And then I want to stick some of my leaf pieces in that we stamped at the beginning, and I'm using multi-purpose glue for those. And I don't like to stick them down all the way. I like to leave this piece free. It adds a little easy dimension. I don't know if you've ever noticed hydrangeas, whether you have them in your garden or like I have a neighbor who has a beautiful hydrangea, and there are always lots of greenery bits sticking up amongst the flowers, which are a great counterpoint to the beautiful flowers that are in bloom. And let's see, do we want this last one? I think we do. I always stamp a few more and cut them, because you never know when you're assembling how many of them you're going to want. Okay, so it's time to add our sentiment, and I have the black Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to use the minis and add those right along the edge here. And I'm using the black because they're going to attach to a piece of basic black, so they will be less obvious. And you can see that I'm getting maybe a little carried away with the number of dimensionals. I just want to give this good support here, since we've cut a hole in our card front. Oops. Don't need that piece. We need the actual dimensional. So the black Stampin' Dimensionals are also from Stampin' Up, and they come in a pack that's got the minis and the regular size dimensionals all in one. And you can click on my store link to purchase those. So while we're here, let's add our other dimensionals, and this is almost like giving support for a shaker card. Anytime you cut a hole in a card, you need to give it a little extra support. Okay, so let's pull the backing off of all of these. And let's make sure my words are going to be in the right direction here. And this, you'll need to be careful here so you don't stick these bits down. And then I've got a thick Whisper White card base. And we're going to do then the same thing to finish up, and turn this over and cut this little bit off the edge. I am going to leave this hanging off, but if you prefer not to, you can also turn this over and cut this last bit. So this is my beautiful Friendship Ornate Thanks card. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Sara Levin, the Artful Inker. Look in the description below for the link to my store, where you can buy all of your current Stampin' Up! Products. And there will also be a link to my blog. Have a great day. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Happy creating. Bye.